Hey guys, welcome to a new video, and in this video we will be looking at even more KeyForge Winds of Exchange upgrades. And without further ado, let's get right into it. To start it off, we have Star Alliance with Mirror Shell. It reads, play, make a token creature. This creature gains after fight, after reap. For the remainder of the turn, each friendly token creature is a copy of this creature. This is actually a really powerful card because what you can do with it is if you put it on some sort of really cool card with a really good after reap or after fight ability, then you already get that. Plus, after you use it on a turn, then any token creature that you have that's in the same house can also be used as that same creature and can use the same after reap, after fight abilities. So this card is really good if you have a token creature that's in a house that you really like and have good cards in. But if you don't have a token creature in that house, then this card isn't going to be too helpful for you. Moving on to another Star Alliance upgrade, Badge of Unity. This creature belongs to House Star Alliance in addition to its other houses. This card is really helpful when you have a Saurian play or something that you want to get out there, but you can't do it because you need something from another card, such as a Reaper Fight ability, and you can use that card with Badge of Unity. So this card can come in handy there. I don't think it really has any bad to it necessarily, because it's just such a simple card. It doesn't really need any balancing. And if you don't need it for any of your combos or anything, then you can just use it for an extra card to reap, and you can just gain an extra ember every turn. So, like I said in my other video, I really think that Star Alliance is known for their upgrades. And here's another one, FOF Transponder. I think I'm reading that right. This creature gains destroyed. Make a token creature. Attach FOF Transponder to that creature. So this is one where you can kind of get it out there and continuously get token creatures, and this is really helpful except when you have a not so good token creature, which there's not much out there that aren't that good, but it would be good to just have another creature out there to reap constantly, and you never have to be worried about not having a battle line. So overall, this one's not really going to be a bad one to have. I really think it's just going to be one of those balanced upgrades where there's not much good to it in the sense of it's not super overpowered or anything, but it's also not too weak, and it can be helpful most of the time. So like I mentioned with the last one, I really think this card just gives you an extra card to reap with, at the very minimum, if there's no extra combos or something that you want to do with it, and that's never really going to hurt you. So these two cards that I just mentioned are pretty helpful, and I think you're going to want to look for them in your decks. Moving on to another Star Alliance upgrade, Echo Reflector. It reads, this creature gains, your opponent's keys cost +3 Ember. This is a very simple card, and it doesn't need much explaining because it does exactly what it says. Your opponent's keys will cost +3 Ember, and this is pretty good to put on just any high power creature or creature that you can ward, or just something that you can keep out there. And the cool thing I like about these Star Alliance upgrades is just the fact that they don't really have any negatives to them, because, I mean, when would you not want your opponent's keys to be +3 Ember? Like, you're always going to want to have that out there, and I don't think there's really a possibility that you're not going to want that out there. But you guys let me know if there's some reason why you wouldn't want your opponent's keys to cost more Ember, because there could be something out there, but I just don't know it. Moving on to our last Star Alliance upgrade, Uplink. This creature gains action, make a token creature for each of this creature's non-Star Alliance neighbors. So once again, this card is very balanced, and not many times when you wouldn't want to have this out there, just because you can get more token creatures out there, and you really aren't gonna not want this out there. I mean, it's a bonus ember to just play this card, and it doesn't make you lose anything, so I think this card can be pretty helpful, and there's not much negative to it. Moving on now, we have Unfathomable. This first one reads, play, put 3 hatch counters on this card. At the start of your turn, remove 1 hatch counter from this card. Then, if it has no hatch counters, destroy this creature and make 3 token creatures. Now, I know a lot of these upgrades have to do with making token creatures, but honestly, there's not many token creatures out there that are terrible. There's some that are not so good, but they're mostly good considering you just have an extra creature out there to reap with. So it's always good to have token creatures out there, but this one just creates so many. I'm not sure if you're going to need that many, but they could be helpful to have out. But just be aware, if you are playing this card, I would suggest putting it on something that you're not going to want as much, just because it probably will be destroyed at some point. So you're going to want to get something out there that you're not going to want as much. Alright, moving on to this next one, we got Weak Link. This creature gains, while this creature is exhausted, your keys cost +6. So this is one that I don't think is going to be very beneficial, because you're not going to want to play it too much, but I think you can put it on your opponent's creature, and then their keys will cost +6 when the creature is exhausted. So that could work out for you in some circumstances, but this card is not one that I'm looking forward to opening because it's not too helpful, but like I said, it's not terrible, because you do get an Ember when playing it, and your opponent's keys can cost +6. If you are interested in getting this card and trying to make it work, I would try and find a deck that has this card and maybe a few action cards or something that can exhaust a creature, because then hopefully you can pull off something to where your opponent's keys will cost +6 during their turn. Moving on to our final upgrade, and I'm not going to try and pronounce this, but this creature gains poison, and basically it just means any damage dealt by this creature's power during a fight destroys the damaged creature. So this one you're going to want to put on maybe like a token creature or something, so that you can get a tiny bit of damage, and then you can kind of sacrifice that creature in this upgrade to get rid of a more powerful enemy creature. Alrighty, so that's going to be it for part 2 of looking at all the Winds of Exchange upgrades. And I think all of these cards are very unique, just like every card, and I really think that these can be cool to look for. And with these specifically, I feel like a lot of these didn't have any negatives to them, because a lot of them are pretty simple and also pretty helpful. For the card of the day, we're going to have Mirror Shout, and this is just because I really feel like this is an upgrade that I would love to see in any of my decks, because I think this card is just so cool. The fact that it can copy pretty much any creature by just making the token creature the same creature. And this can be really helpful, especially if you have some sort of good reap or fight ability that you want to get out there with all your token creatures, and all you got to do after that is make sure the creature with this upgrade survives. Alrighty guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video for part 2 of looking at all the Winds of Exchange upgrades, and I really hope you guys enjoyed part 1 and part 2. And if you haven't watched part 1 already, I would suggest going to look that. It's in my videos and should be right under this one, because I just did that video right before this one. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.